Last year, the auction house Christie's sold a JPEG by the artist Beeple for a record-breaking $69 million.
Beeple's sale hit the art market like an earthquake.
For many, the sale of this NFT represents a revolution for the art market, since it was the first piece of art sold by a major auction house that does not physically exist.
There's this real gold rush feel to sort of being on the ground floor of something dynamic. And with that comes a lot of risk. And I think the art market is, still trying to figure out where this will go, but I don't think it's going anywhere.
Sold to you out there online, thank you.
So, how are NFTs transforming the art market? And if this technology goes mainstream, who stands to benefit?
Let's give him a cyber quad.
This is Niche Markets, a series about small, lesser-known markets that, despite their size, punch well above their weight. In 2021, the concept of a non-fungible token, or NFT, entered the zeitgeist.
NFTs in 2021 were an incredibly important milestone. It has a really revolutionary impact on the art business.
NFTs for me, it's a new genre of art.
Digital art has existed for decades. I think we will always think of a before and an after in terms of NFTs.
NFTs are digital tokens or vouchers of authenticity that represent digital or real-life art or collectibles.
An NFT is essentially a receipt that you can never throw away. If you need proof that you own a thing, an NFT is one way to lock that down forever.
Although NFTs have been around for a few years, it wasn't until 2021 when they really began to attract widespread attention.
So we are in my living room and we're watching the closing of the auction.
The artist behind this piece of work is Mike Winkleman, better known as Beeple.
69 million. I think it probably means digital art is here to stay.
Christie's said the sale of Everydays makes Beeple among the top 3 most valuable living artists, a fact made all the more remarkable since Everydays began bidding at $100.
It was truly a watershed moment. It introduced NFTs into the auction world in 2021, which was really the biggest headline for our business.
For him to come in with essentially a JPEG collage and outsell Frida Kahlo and Salvador Dali, the art market couldn't wrap its head around what we were experiencing. And it was definitely a marker of a brand new world.
Artist Cam Rackham spends his days in his Southern California studio creating NFTs.
I've been an artist for 18 years. I started dabbling with NFTs during the pandemic. I thought it was going to be 2 weeks and it just went on and on. I watched my art shows melt away.
Before the pandemic, Rackham's income came mostly from gallery sales and commissions. But lockdowns put him on unemployment and forced him to pivot his business.
NFTs have massively changed my life. Let's give him a little Wall Street Bull sign. I didn't plan for that or expect that. There we go. But I went from marginally successful painter to a full-time NFT maker.
Rackham is the artist behind a collection of NFTs known as Wall Street Bulls, which is comprised of 10,000 cartoon bull NFTs.
This one has a pipe, this one has a laser eye, this one has a goatee, maybe a beard.
Each of the Wall Street Bull NFTs parodies different aspects of today's social media-fueled retail trading culture.
AOC, we gave her her famous Tax the Rich dress, and she's got her commie horns and her Bernie tattoo.
The collection was produced in partnership with the team behind the satirical Instagram account Wall Street Memes, which takes much of its inspiration from the popular Wall Street Bets subreddit that was at the center of last year's GameStop mania.
We thought with being bullish on the market, the bull as a character made a lot of sense to us. That's JP Morgan and John D. Rockefeller.
Although the sales that have grabbed many of the headlines have to do with specific works of art, like Beeple's Everydays or Human One, some of the most popular NFTs bought and sold today are part of collections.
The really cool thing about how NFTs have really exploded is that it's given sort of all kinds of art a chance to shake out and find its own subcategory, right? So you have the apes and the Dogecoins and the various animal creatures, right? They're almost similar to being in a part of a club.
NFT collections tend to follow a release strategy similar to sneaker drops. They come in limited quantities, depend on sky-high demand, and stir speculative crazes in the secondary market.
The secondary market is probably the most beautiful part of the NFT selling spectrum.
Thanks to a few lines of code embedded within an NFT, artists are guaranteed a cut of any and all future sales of their work in perpetuity.
Now, as an artist, you can collect a royalty. As a creator, a developer, you do get kind of what you deserve finally.
Rackham told the Journal that the Wall Street Bulls collection sold out in 32 minutes, netting the team behind it an initial profit of $2.6 million, of which his take-home was $726,000. Since the project went live on October 27th, Rackham said he has made an additional $62,000 in royalties.
We've been in this kind of auction house, corporate contemporary world for a very long time. NFTs are so much more democratic. There we go.
We come to a place where artists have more say over where their works go, and they have more, they're getting a cut of resales and they're knowing where everything is. I mean, certainly that does shift the balance of power a little bit in the favor of the little guy and of the artist as opposed to the power brokers.
These new buyers are far younger than those who typically participate in high-priced auctions.
75% of the people who participated in our NFT sales this year were entirely new to Christie's. Our average NFT buyer is 42 years old. That's more than 10 years younger than the buyers across categories.
Ahead of you in Hong Kong. 16 is here, thank you.
To cater to this new clientele, the 255-year-old auction house changed its payment policies.
We had to expedite our readiness to accept cryptocurrency because it was absolutely demanded by some of the avid NFT buyers. And now we're delighted that we're actually accepting cryptocurrency not only for NFT works, but for works across other categories.
The much anticipated sequel to Beeple's first offering here at Christie's.
In 2021, Christie's sold around $150 million in NFTs, or 8% of its contemporary art sales.
We think NFTs are here to stay. We've had great conversations with so many artists, musical artists, visual artists. So I think the sky's the limit.
Here in the moment, $24 million, 25 online.